Grant and Brad's Ghastly Gab.
Welcome back to... That's way too high. Welcome... See, I need to turn my shit down. Hello, welcome.
Keep all of this in.
Welcome back to Grant and Brad's Ghastly. Welcome back to Grant and Brad's Ghastly Gab, where we are the arrow through your heart. Cherubic. Is that how you say it?
Like cherub?
Yeah.
Cherubic.
We are the cherubic being.
Try to solve this cherubic cube. It made me think of Rubik's Cube for some reason. I don't know.
Well, we are very close to Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we are.
The day of love.
It's February 6th, so it's 8 days
6th.
away.
Yes.
Do you do a lot for Valentine's Day?
Nah.
It's really come off, we don't do much either. It's
I mean
indifference almost.
I do some. I mean, it's become one of those things, and I don't know if it's cheesy or cliche. Like, I don't know, like if I want to like buy her something like flowers or candy or even like a drink or something like that, like I just do it. Like it's not depending on the day. So like, I feel like that you have to do something ridiculous for Valentine's Day, and most of the time, like we either don't have the time or like care that much. So like, I think the past couple years I've actually got her like the cheesy gift of the heart like shaped chocolate box, like the Reese cups. Yeah. And I think that that's just kind of cute enough to be like, Happy Valentine's Day. And like she likes the candy.
Yeah. It reminds me of Peanuts, actually. The heart shaped.
The heart shaped.
Yeah, because I'm a big Charlie Brown fan, so my favorite I love them all. But one of my...
What, Charlie Brown?
But I love the Valentine's Day episode. Mm-hmm. And that's what Linus Spy's first teacher, Miss Othmar.
We have all the Charlie Browns. I don't know if I've ever watched that one.
Oh, it's great.
I think I always just hit the big ones.
This should be a big one.
Okay.
It really is good. I mean, Charlie Brown's he's so cocksure that he's going to get... So many Valentine's Day. No, just Valentines. You know how when you used to go through class, that he brings a fucking suitcase that he feels as though he's going to have so many that he's going to have to carry home. And he doesn't get a fucking single one, and he's just sitting there like such an asshole the whole time. And Franklin's going around, or no, it's not Franklin. It's Schroeder. He's going around handing them out. And it's just, for some reason, he's like, here's one for Becky. Where's Becky? But he says it about every single one. Like, I don't know where his classroom is and where the fuck all these kids are hiding. But he can't
find anybody?
He can't seem to find anybody. And... And then Linus gets this huge box of chocolates for Miss Othmar's teacher, and she blows him off and goes off with her boyfriend, but during the class party. Like, nothing about any of this episode makes any sense, and it's awesome, and I love it. So, anyways, not exactly the most scary thing in the world.
Well, when you were younger, did you, I just found out, I guess. I had no idea, and I was with my daughter at, like, the grocery store. The grocery store. And we walked past the Valentine aisle, and I was like, and I always like for years because I know how much she hates wrestling. I always like pick up the WWE ones. You know, there's a big Cena and a big like Roman, and like, why don't you give these to all the kids in your class? And she just looked at me like I was an idiot. And then I realized that like she hasn't done it for like 2 years because she's in 6th grade now. So 5th and 6th they don't do it anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like I didn't even realize that. So like I was trying to think like we didn't do it in middle school, right?
No, not in middle school.
It ended in 5th grade.
No, I remember in 6th grade getting my girlfriend a necklace and earrings.
Was that for Valentine's Day?
And I ordered it from like Scott Duncan for some reason was like doing.
It was that magazine, or
not
the magazine, but
the
because I bought Abby. This was like right before I broke up with Abby. I bought her that. It was like fake. It's fake everything because it was like a $20 necklace or something.
Yes, but it was expensive.
I remember. Yeah, well, back in the day, for us, yeah. And I asked my dad for the money to buy it for him, and when he said buy it for her, and when he said yes, I was very surprised. And I remember being so happy, like I'm gonna buy because watching so many movies, I'm gonna buy my girlfriend jewelry.
Did you buy your stuff from Scott too?
I don't know who I bought it from.
Okay.
I can't remember that part.
I don't remember why he was selling it. Like,
it was like one of those like. Because I don't even know if the school put it on. Like if it was a fundraiser thing or what. But yeah, it was crystal.
It was.
I remember that.
It was definitely crystal. Yeah.
Which random thing I saw online about Ohio. Do you remember calling 281-8211 in the morning to check the weather? Remember the weather hotline?
I do.
I know this is way off topic now.
No, but there's the storm coming tomorrow, so yeah, I know what you're talking about. And it would be like, "Hi, this is Ben Gelber from your channel 4," like
old Ben Gelber
or whatever.
But yeah, so were you ever excited about Valentine's Day?
Yeah, when I was younger, probably the first year that I wasn't was probably the crystal year. I remember being really excited when I was in like first, second, third grade.
Mm-hmm.
I would come home and be excited about the 28 Valentines that you got.
You couldn't open them there, I don't think.
No, yeah. So and you kind of like you always liked a couple of the girls, and you read into the Valentine more, and
because you had to handwrite a note. So I remember comparing sometimes too. I think like seeing if the other guys got like the same. Because then if if the girl wrote the same thing to everybody, you're kind of like, oh.
Yeah.
But then if she wrote something to you, maybe. But then at the same time, it was fucking fourth, grade. So
but then it was also cool, like, and nowadays almost every Valentine comes with like a little something. But the ones that did back then were fewer and farther between. So you always got a little bit of candy, and that was exciting. Those chocolate hearts always tasted so damn good.
The candy hearts are fucking gross though. The chalk ones.
Yeah,
not like the sweetheart ones, but the actual
yes, exactly.
The B mines or whatever, like those are gross.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. They suck. Yeah, I mean, but every year you still buy them.
Yeah,
it's kind of like what else is like that? Candy corn.
Yeah, well, see, I actually like candy corn. I've bought candy corn out of season at like Kroger. They have like the little dollar bags.
Yeah,
I bought it out of season just to have it like work, and I'll eat it.
I'm just okay on candy corn, and I'm just okay on the candy hearts.
But see, I feel like that is a big, like, I'm the weird one on that one. That, like, the majority does not like candy corn.
Yeah, I like to have some around Halloween, but beyond that, like, and I have to have the yellow, orange, white, the brown, orange, white, and the pumpkins.
Oh,
I like the mix.
See, but I feel like, this is the tricky thing, is that, like, they all taste the same. But for some reason, the pumpkins are better than anything else to me. And I don't know if it's because they're bigger and like there's more sugar like there or something.
You know what I think it is? I think it's from when you were a kid.
Why? Just getting the like.
I think the pumpkins were rarer then.
Yeah.
And like you only got like 3 or 4 in a package, and your brother used to fight, or your sister, or your mom. Like everybody wanted the pumpkin, so it was like you were lucky.
What happened at the Dixon's household?
Oh, they were.
Did everybody gather around the mix?
We were dropping bows for
you and Jake like just fucking fighting.
Well, no,
and your mom like your mom patiently waiting for one of you guys to drop it.
Right.
And she runs over.
Right. She would only put in like a fifth at a time.
But say I wouldn't put it past your mom to maybe hide some for herself.
She probably did.
Yeah.
That's why I thought there was only 4 a package. There's probably the regular 13.
Yeah. When you started like hanging out with other kids during Halloween and they're eating all these pumpkins.
Yeah. Your house is pumpkin rich.
Got that pumpkin money. But yeah, so
bags of candy corn you guys opened this Halloween.
One.
just the one.
So you still buy the chalk hearts every year though?
No.
Oh.
But if somebody...
I think that's where we were going with this.
No, I know. But if somebody bought it for me, I'd eat one.
Okay.
But just one.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't need the rest of them.
No, because they suck.
Do you remember the... weren't there like suckers or lollipops, whatever you want to call them, that were like red cherry, like, and they're in the heart?
Yeah.
I remember liking those.
And they got put into the Valentine card.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's why I remember them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some of them had the white writing.
The white...
Yeah,
okay,
that's why it would be like I love
outline,
you,
right?
or something. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was always exciting. And then honestly, I pretty much once we stopped doing that, I don't know that
actually giving Valentines to people.
Yeah, I don't know that I gave a shit, because even the girl that I gave it to in 6th grade.
The jewelry.
Yeah, it was.
Was it Jerry?
Jerry Wilson.
Okay.
Thank you.
I didn't know if you want to say her name or not, so I was gonna.
I don't imagine it matters. I'm sure her name isn't that anymore anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember we broke up a lot. Me and Jerry.
Me and Jerry.
Yeah, I think we broke up that week.
Let's see. Did you pull the same thing with me and Abby?
Yeah, it was very similar. But I think she broke it, and I was kind of pissed because I think that I had spent like $32 on everything. and it's like $32 to me. It was like, well, that's like 3 CDs. That's
Yeah.
that's probably how you measured it too
Yeah.
back then. And it was like, so I was pretty pissed. And I think that ever since then, I think the whole Valentine's gift giving is just like meh to
Wait,
me.
it ruined everything?
I don't know. I don't remember ever really being excited after fifth grade.
Like, even after you have moved on from this girl, 7th grade and 8th grade,
I don't remember ever being excited about anything now.
it all comes. I mean, no disrespect to your wife right now, but like it all comes back to her. Things could have been things could have been different if she didn't break the necklace.
No, I don't think that it was necessarily. I don't think that it was necessarily the necklace being broken that bothered me so much. I think it was having to spend the money on something I really didn't fucking want to.
Yeah, and then it got broken. Still.
And then it meant nothing.
Yeah,
But I just didn't want to do it in the first place, and I still don't want to do it.
and see, I think that's what it. I mean, like, I don't want to go over the top, and I don't want my wife to go over the top. And like, and like I said, we're very much like if we feel like doing something for each other, we'll just do it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to wait for Valentine's Day. And now the kids are around, we end up just doing something together. Like there's no like just me and Abby thing. We do it all together.
Yeah, that's us too. And my daughter's birthday is Valentine's Day.
That is, yeah.
So it's become a completely different thing.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah.
So yeah, Valentine's Day.
Have you seen any movies since we last talked?
Yes, I have watched a lot. Jesus, was it like December? No, it was January.
No, it was January.
Yeah,
you've been gone a lot.
Yeah. Okay. I saw Ready or Not, which I really enjoyed.
What's that?
This is where it's getting bad because I don't know anybody's names or anything. It's the chick from did you see the Netflix movie The Babysitter?
Yes.
The blonde girl, the babysitter.
Okay.
She's in it, and it's about she marries a guy, and at the beginning you realize that his family is really weird, but he's rich, and they own a board game company, and that's where they made all their money. And so they're really weird about new people marrying in the family because they don't want people to marry in just to have the money. But you kind of see that these two are actually in love, and he doesn't really care about all that. But the family is against it. And the ritual is on the wedding night, the family all gets together, and the new person has to pick a card. They pick a card, and whatever game it says on there, they have to play. And she gets hide and seek. But it's a game like where she's hiding, and they have to find her to fucking murder her. And you find out it's because their great-great-great-grandfather made a deal with the devil to get rich, and they have to sacrifice somebody like every so often to keep their money. Like it gets pretty ridiculous, but it's like fun. It doesn't take itself seriously at all.
Right.
So I really like that one. I was very surprised that I watched Zombieland 2.
Okay.
With no
Yeah, even probably thinking it's not going to be good because it came and left before you knew it.
Yeah, and I know you enjoy them. I'm not so much on the zombie movies. I had fun on the first one. I
haven't enjoyed a zombie movie in a very long time.
And it is a different take on a zombie movie. That's what I liked about the first one. Was that?
And I'm a huge Woody Harrelson fan, too.
Yeah. And so this one, it's an hour and a half to forget the world. I mean, it's not like you'll probably watch it again in a couple years, but you're not going to run back to watch it. But
right.
I was very surprised how much I liked it. And and there's a new character in it, a dumb girl. That's everything she says. I laughed at. So.
I did recently watch it, the first one again within the past year, I'd say around there, and I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not a Jesse Eisenberg. Is that his name?
Yeah.
I do not care for him, but he's good in it. But Woody Harrelson is just great. I love Woody Harrelson. So.
The one that I can remember that I didn't like at all is I watched, and I can't say it, The Curse of La Llorona.
I don't know what that is.
And I was bummed because it has the girl I like in Linda Cardellini.
From Freaks and Geeks?
From Freaks and Geeks and ER and...
She's
Velma.
Yeah, Velma. Yeah.
Yeah. It's another, and this is what I don't know though. So I love the Conjuring movies. This is basically
we disagree on this.
So there's the story is that there's a woman, her husband died. She's raising 2 kids, and then you end up finding out that there's this fucking spirit that's haunting. She's a social worker. And she's working with this mom that's lost control of her kids, and they think that she's doing harm to her kids. you find out that really she's trying to save the kids from this like evil spirit that I think is an actual like tale, like whatever. It's something from Mexico. Like this is something based in history.
Oh, like a what's the word? Neither
An urban legend.
An urban
maybe?
legend.
Yeah, like
yeah, that's the word I was.
So it's like I think there's something in real life, so they made movies off of it.
Okay.
And so basically, it gets passed on to her, and the why did Siri just turn on?
I don't have access to your password.
Maybe they know. So then the ghost comes. The spirit comes after them. It's a haunted house. Ghost trying to kill a family.
Okay.
But there was nothing good about it, and I was bored. And it was that thing where like I had watched.
Was it just try to keep jump scaring you over and over again?
Yeah. And like I was trying, like
this.
it's that thing where I knew how much time I had on the plane. I had started it, and I had watched enough that like I couldn't start something new.
It was the point of the return.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that one I did not enjoy. I rewatched Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island. See, like I said, I had a lot because I feel like that I've watched tons of stuff.
What made you watch Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island again?
I don't know.
Okay.
It was just on Netflix in the downloadable area, so I
Okay.
downloaded that shit. Joker.
I watched that as well.
I don't know if these have to be horror based. I mean, we're the ones doing this, so we can make up the rules.
Yeah.
But it is kind of. I mean, it's
haunting.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that it's not scary. I mean, even if it's not supposed to be,
Well, if you the realness of it.
I won't watch it again for a while.
Me neither.
It bothered me a little bit, like the end part with De Niro.
Yeah.
It was good.
It's
just like as it's happening, you're just like it felt very real. And then like with a lot of stuff that's going on nowadays too, I think like the way people are just dealing with mental health. But I will say that it's probably the best like origin movie I've ever seen. Like I really like I feel like you saw a guy transform into something.
Yeah.
And you
could
understand.
Yeah.
The one thing that I did laugh about was I didn't know that it was actually going to have anything to do in the Batman universe. So
yeah,
like
I was surprised when Bruce showed up.
Yeah, like they say Thomas, they say Bruce. I looked over at my wife when I saw things start to happen. I was like, I swear to God, I'm going to go get a lighter and burn this Blu-ray if I see a slow-mo shot of fucking pearls dropping. We can't do this again. It's in every movie. And then it happened.
And they changed it. They changed it like the Joker had nothing to do with
Bruce's. I mean that in the 89 one they did, but like
but the comic
they did not.
Yeah.
So and then like I got all mad because I was just like all they had to do was show the Zorro marquee and everybody would have put it together. But then I have to think about how this movie was marketed. Mm-hmm. A lot of people that don't give a fuck about Batman are going to go see this movie and they don't know that his parent, that they went to see Zorro and all that shit. So, like it was that little moment of like, God damn it, or like Batman's parents get killed. We know.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, I thought it was.
My question is if they're going to keep going, and now Joker's technically responsible, or like at least his actions made the Wayne's killings. It's kind of like, well, wait a minute though, because the whole point of the way that they were killed is like it had to do with like the mob, and then it was much deeper, and it was kind of like this tangled web of stuff, and then there's the Joker over here that's like nuts too, and they didn't even necessarily like each other, like the two families in I can't remember their names. Is
it Marconi?
Yeah, Marconi's one, and then what's the other one? Isn't there another one?
Yeah, because they're both in like the Long Halloween too. I think.
Yeah,
I can't think of it.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
but yeah, so it's like I don't know. It just made for a weird. I actually didn't like that they did that. I thought it was unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that was a way to get the movie made. Of just like say you can slap a DC thing on it, and because you could have made that movie not about Batman at all. Right. Just a dude that's insane, or just has some type of brain, mental
there was
problems.
No need to bring Batman into it yet.
Yeah. So, no, I like that. And we kind of talked a little bit about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's a double-edged sword because it was too fucking long. Didn't need to be that long. Could have been 40 minutes of actual story to get where we needed to go. But goddamn, I watched the entire thing and didn't talk.
Yeah.
And I didn't. My favorite part was they're in the bar. It's Timothy Olyphant and Leonardo DiCaprio, and the camera's moving around Timothy Olyphant. Mm-hmm. DiCaprio's acting, and and he fucks up a line, and then the camera like stops all of a sudden hard, and you hear the director yelling at him like, "We got to start over." And he's like, "No, we're not starting over. Just we'll go." And then the camera racks back to the beginning, and they start the same. See, it's all one shot too. Because watching DiCaprio do it, you think you're watching a different movie, but then you realize that you're actually watching somebody make a movie. Like,
yeah.
But it was
in the scene with him and the girl, like where the girl's in the chair, like in the
when
chair,
he's holding her,
and
like when he throws her.
Yeah, and Luke Perry is talking to him. Like that whole scene's awesome.
Yeah, it really was just kind of Tarantino. I feel like just like showing you like why you should fall in love with movies, or like the business of making them, and then going to see them, and like watching Margot Robbie in the theater, like watch herself and be entertained. Like I think that's all. Like it was really Tarantino going like
that was Margot Robbie.
Yeah, as Shannon or Sharon Tate. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize that.
And then Tarantino has this thing where he makes you think you know where you're going, and then he fucking 180s you.
I knew,
and I had no idea anything about it, but I just sat there after a while and I looked at Abby and it's like there has been like really like there's been no cursing almost and no violence. And I was like, what's gonna happen?
Oh, I didn't know what was gonna happen.
Yeah,
I just knew that. I knew that the Manson murders were going to be a part of it.
Yeah,
I was actually surprised that it didn't actually happen.
And I'm guessing that's why, because I know he had to meet with Tate's family, like they were not going to let him make the movie, and then all of a sudden he was allowed to, and I'm guessing that's how he got around it. Was that like we're not going to kill her, like it'll be fine. And then it kind of helped all the other crap with DiCaprio, like at the end, because at the beginning you set up this whole thing of like maybe one day I'll be invited to Polanski's house.
Yeah.
Then you see all this shit and all the work that he's actually putting in and how talented he is, but he's never going to get a break, or he had a break at one point, and then that all gets you to that end part where Sharon invites him over. Like he finally got his invite, and it was kind of
Emil Hirsch is there. And you're like, holy shit, Emil Hirsch still alive?
Yeah,
and I love him.
That took me a second too. I was like, oh, because they're at the Playboy Mansion, right? When they first show up, yeah,
that threw me off. But yeah, I mean, I'm always going to love Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio as basically in a buddy movie. I mean, because that's what it is. And it was hilarious. But I watched that. I watched Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which, man, was that ever disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, I am going to have to watch it again.
I think I might have to watch it again, too, because I think I went in expecting, like, okay, this is going to be fetching, like, with my eyes, just to watch it is going to be awesome because of who did it. What's his name? I can't remember.
Guillermo
del Toro. Thank you.
And like I liked the feel of it, like Halloween, and it was like old. Like,
for a second, it felt like that, and then it went away.
Yeah. And the monsters look. I liked them.
I agree, and I was happy to see Harold looked exactly how I thought he would look, and then but I didn't get enough of it.
Yeah.
Like they were
maybe
too
that's
few
what it was,
and far between.
Yeah.
And I didn't. It just felt really Hollywoodish to me. Like, oh well, somebody's obviously writing this book, and then I don't know. It's like I would have enjoyed it more as an anthology that didn't have anything to do with the other ones.
And see, that's where I think stuff like that could come in. Like, and I love the Goosebumps movies, but I would love if they redid them now. I mean, I had an idea of fucking having. I would love if HBO picked up Goosebumps. This will never happen, but. If you had, like, you do a Tales from the Crypt thing where you have famous directors, or at least famous people, I mean, Schwarzenegger directed one, so just famous people come in and direct R-rated versions of Goosebumps.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Like, just make them cheesy, like...
and it doesn't have to be R-rated. It could just be cool.
Yeah, and like, I think something like that is better as an anthology of, like, just give me and, like, I know some of the scary stories are short, but you can make them a half hour. I mean... Yeah. You don't need much to extend them out. So
no, I mean most of those are so short. A lot of them are just 1 page long.
Yeah,
and a lot of them are funny.
Yeah,
I mean there's a whole section of just funny ones.
Yeah, and I think the only reason why we remember them being so scary is because of the drawings.
Yeah,
like, I mean,
and there's some weird ones. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
like the Wendigo and shit like that. It was pretty scary. But then I watched 3 from Hell. And I don't know if I've ever been more disappointed in a movie.
I think I had that same thought because of, how excited I was for it. And that was another one, kind of like Scary Stories, where it's like, I'm willing to buy this movie
because
without
it's going to be good.
And just being like, I know I'm going to like it, or at least it'll be okay. I'm not going to be bummed.
Yeah.
And I'm not bummed that I bought 3 from Hell, because you have to have it next to the other 2.
I don't feel as though you do.
But this one was just the baby stuff was in the beginning was just not. It didn't
Forever long.
feel right, and it has nothing to do with Spalding not being there. The addition of the other guy that doesn't change anything
He
for
was
me.
fine.
But once they got together and got down to Mexico, it was more. What's the word? Palatable? Like is that how you say it?
Okay.
It was easier to swallow when they got down to Mexico for me. It was a little bit more fun and more like back to his
I
shit,
never
but-
like it when things go Mexican for whatever reason. I never like the look of it. I never like the feel of it.
except for From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, but that's all nighttime and shit
Yeah, I mean,
like
well,
that.
they're in a bar the whole time.
Yeah.
So.
I do like From Dusk Till Dawn. But beyond that, there really isn't anything. But I hated it. Like, I literally was waiting for it to end. And it's like, I hated it.
Mhm.
I literally would give it 0 stars.
I didn't talk for a while after it because I was trying to figure it out. Kelly told me
Just like, how am I going to get my 19 or my 21-26 back?
Kelly told me that it was bad, but like Kelly and I disagree about movies every once in a while. So I was just like, and plus, I mean, even if like you said it was bad, like I'm still gonna watch it. Like, I mean,
And I hadn't heard that it was bad. I hadn't heard anything.
Well, that's why I think I came over and I started to talk about it, and I was like, no, like because I don't want you to think about just fucking watch it and make up your own mind.
Yeah.
I don't want to like I don't want to be in the back of your head going like, well, he said it wasn't that great.
Right.
So,
Ugh. And I watched Get Out again, which I love that movie.
oh yeah, I bought Us and still have not watched it.
Yeah. Is it on there?
Yeah,
Which you can have mine
yeah,
if
it
you
should
want.
be on there.
I don't have a whole lot on it, but
I feel like there were a couple other ones. I watched the shit out of Castle Rock on Hulu and cried at the finale.
oh really?
It was everything I wanted. Like they kind of hinted towards it. Like are you ever gonna watch it?
Oh, I don't know. I might.
Okay,
If
but
you-
like you've
especially
seen
if you said
Misery
it's
though,
really
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I won't say much, but like they get you to Misery. Like it's like in the writers' room, they sat there and said, "We have 10 episodes. We have 10 hours of TV we have to write, and we want to do the origin story of Annie Wilkes, but like that's not going to take up 10 hours." So they added in Salem's Lot and some Stand By Me stuff and Needful Things, and they make this whole other like witch story with Salem's Lot that Annie Wilkes ends up being involved in, but but there's like a few key episodes that like just basically like
Talk about a long fucking movie that never ended.
oh Salem's Lot.
Oh my god.
Um,
Love that vampire though.
Well, yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the Rob Lowe one though. Just like how long the first one is, I haven't even checked out the Rob Lowe
I
one
don't
to see
blame
if it's.
you. It's forever.
But
Stand By Me is one of my favorite movies.
yeah. They have a whole like there's like probably like mid-teens like out on themselves. Like there's a couple scenes where it's just it gives you that Stand By Me feel.
Okay.
But yeah, it shows kind of her backstory and like because like that's always the question in Misery is like what is wrong with her, like why is she super happy and normal, then she could flip, and they explain all of that, and then the last like 10 minutes of the final episode, like I watched it again, and I couldn't help it, but like the tears were like falling off because like they gave me, I don't know why I hold that character so like I love that story, but they gave me what I wanted, where basically they show you the start of like how she gets to Misery.
Okay.
But yeah, I and then the girl that plays her is amazing. Lizzie Kaplan or what? She's in Party Down, and she's like the goth girl in Mean Girls.
Oh, shit, it's been a long time.
Yeah, she's in like some other stuff too, but she is amazing in it. So I did that, and if like another one pops up, I can't think of other fucking movies I watched.
Jay and Silent Bob. I know you said that.
Jay and Silent Bob. Hold on, The Burning. For the first time, I watched The Burning.
Oh, The Burning. Yeah.
That was really good.
Good. That always feels good when you bought something sight unseen and it's pretty good.
And it was. I mean, it's kids at a summer camp, and there's somebody trying to kill them, but it's like weird, like where Jason was just pump out another movie. Like this one felt as though like they thought about like they wanted to make a movie. It wasn't like it seemed like they had money and a good idea, and they were able to like make it look like a movie. And the kills were kind of all the same, but like that's what made it kind of weird was that like this dude was just going around and slit throats, but they shot it in such a way that it was pretty nasty, and you get to see Jason Alexander with hair,
Which throws you off.
yeah, which he's almost the same character. He's always just happy and like talkative, but yeah, him with hair is kind of weird. But Jay and Silent Bob, I really enjoyed. It was it's sillier than the first one. There's some moments where there's moments where you roll your eyes, but like right away, they figure out that the Blunt Man versus Chronic movie's happening, and then you hear the music from Mallrats, the opening song, and it just like
Social?
I smiled, and like they go to the mall, and now Brody is in the mall, because like before he opened up the comic book store, but now he had to move the comic book store to the mall, and they do the same, like they're not like Kevin Smith's just making, like Kevin Smith is directing the reboot or the remake of Blunt Man and Chronic,
right?
So he shits on himself, he makes fun of Cop Out a lot and Tusk and all that, so that's kind of fun. And then they do the same thing where it's just like they're going to remake it, and they're like, what the fuck is a remake? And it cuts to Brody on the computer like, this is a remake. Like they do all the same type of stuff, but all the in jokes, like you finally get a Chasing Amy, dogmas again throughout the whole thing.
Okay.
There's a lot of fun stuff. Every time they kind of reference Clerks, like they turn shit black and white, like randomly.
Really?
Yeah, like the whole cast ends up being in it, and like they're always black and white, but everything else is in color. Well, not Anderson.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not in it.
Okay.
But then,
but like Renee and Okay.
And then
wait a minute. Renee's not her name. Renee's her real name, right? Wait a minute. The fuck, Caitlin Bree and Veronica.
Yeah, Renee's probably her real name. She's the first one. She's
Renee is Shannon Doherty in Mallrats,
oh, okay.
Which is maybe what I'm thinking of. But Renee might be one of the real names. I'm not as like slick as I used to be on all this shit.
Yeah, and then they do the this is good radio. The comic book men stuff is good, and then Quinn's like cameo is good. It's separate from the comic book men.
Okay.
But I think like you've probably seen the Quinn one, haven't you? But like following his Instagram.
No.
Okay.
I if I did, I can't remember.
Yeah. So I mean, it's fun for people like you and I that like know all those movies, and then also get kind of other jokes, making fun of pop culture and stuff like that. But there's a really good cameo by a wrestler too.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Chris Jericho.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, there's a good cameo with Jericho. So,
gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, I think since you are a fan, watch it once. I mean,
yeah, I will. It just whenever I watch the new stuff, it always makes me, and then I'll watch like Clerks, and I'm like, it makes me a little bit sad because I'm like, wow, Clerks is so good.
Well, that's the thing is just like I was talking to Abby about it. I was like, this movie's like, it's okay, but it reminds you like how good those first like 4, and I will say the first Jay and Silent Bob, like how much we watched and enjoyed it over again.
We did watch.
It's kind of like like me and Abby revisited, and I was like, we watch this like every day.
I haven't watched it in a long time.
Yeah.
Probably since high school.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like those first 4 movies though are just really good and like bring back a lot of memories, especially Clerks and Mallrats. And then I love Chasing Amy. And,
I love Chasing Amy.
So it's like
the first 3 are probably even more around, and I like Dogma, but not as much as
as the first 3. I mean, I go back and forth with Clerks and Mallrats just because Mallrats was the first one I watched of his movies with you.
Yeah, me too.
But then like Clerks is just so like I'm always like it's always a good watch with Clerks. Like you're not like you put it on.
No,
and
it's such a good feeling. Yeah. It's like a springtime feeling for me, almost like I don't know.
Yeah, but I remember watching Mallrats with you. I don't know if Jake watched it with us.
Yeah, he did.
Because was that the Scream night?
No,
where he brought back the.
This was this was the first day of spring break, and I remember me and you being in especially good moods. I remember us being at the library at Brook Park.
What is that? Is that 7th grade?
Yeah, 7th grade, and I think our girlfriends were there. It probably would have been like a Bree.
7th.
And
I can't remember one girlfriend in 7th grade.
I know for a fact I was with Bree.
I think I dated Roberta for like a week because she was the new girl.
Well, I'm pretty sure you had a girlfriend, and I think that we were all 4 in the library. And it's like I don't remember us ever being in the library, but I know we were there that day. And it was like probably remember we got out at 3:50, so it was probably like 3:20. And I remember everybody was just a good mood. We got home, and then Jake was there, and we didn't even know he was going to be there, and he had Mallrats, and we watched it like right away before my mom got home. And then my mom got pizza, and it was just a good night. I don't remember anything else past that.
I remember being confused because, like, we had no idea what those characters were, and I just assumed. And then, like, being in 7th grade, you think you know, but you don't. So it's just like, oh, they're drug dealers,
right?
And I remember just like, and then it blowing my mind when I pop in Clerks, and it's like, wait, they're in this movie too?
Right. Why are they acting like this?
Yeah,
This isn't Jay and Silent Bob.
And then they are completely different characters in Clerks, you know, so it's weird.
All right.
But so yeah,
Valentine's
Day.
Valentine's
35 minutes in.
Jeez.
Speaking of seeing new movies,
So I figured.
Yeah, you were thinking about talking about some
I figured every
romances,
year
or
we would try to talk about some romance within the horror movie genre. And I guess it doesn't have to be a movie.
And see, I started thinking about that, and then like this is one of those ones where like we can name as much as we wanted, and we're still only getting like 5% of like.
I actually only have 2 movies I'm talking about.
Okay.
So if you want to make yours only 2 as well, since we're already running long,
we can see.
But the first one that I wanted to talk about, in case anybody hasn't seen it, is called May. You've seen May.
Is that the doll one?
Yes.
I might have jumped, but like I can cut that out if you want. But
No. But yeah, so it's.
I couldn't remember which one it was. Yeah. Okay.
So you kind of didn't obviously like really cast.
Oh no, I liked it. It's
Okay.
just it's been a while since and like if you notice talking to me so much lately, like I don't what's the word, retain things very well.
I've stopped retaining stuff.
That's why I have to write. Like if I just sat in that hotel room and watched all those Are You Afraid of the Darks, I might have been able to talk to you about them. Like I had to literally take notes because I don't keep things in.
Right.
So
I get it. So May. It has some famous people in it, but Lucky McKee was directed it. He wrote and directed it. Lucky McKee has also done a few other movies. One of the bigger ones is All Cheerleaders Die.
Oh, I like that.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I like that movie.
But May is also very good. So the other people in this are Jeremy Sisto, Anna Faris, and James Duval.
Oh, Jeremy Sisto is the one dude, curly hair.
Yeah.
6 Feet Under and
yeah.
Clueless.
Yeah, he is in Clueless.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like after I just said I don't retain anything.
So basically, May is a 28-year-old. She suffered had a troubled childhood. She has a lazy eye, very few social interactions. Doesn't really have any friends. She works at a veterinary hospital. She meets Adam, who is a local mechanic.
Ooh.
And that is played by Jeremy Sisto.
Mm-hmm.
She does get her lazy eye fixed, so she's happier there. She has a fixation of Adam's hands, and she always is like touching them, and she's all big on them and shit like that.
Look at these hands.
Yeah, it's like she's very creepy about it too.
Yeah,
like
I remember her being kind of weird.
The girl who played her really well. Yeah. So then she also is working at this veterinary hospital with Anna Faris. Anna Faris has some lesbian tendencies, or might be a lesbian. I don't really remember. And May remarks that she has a beautiful neck, and but during their flirtation, Polly, who is, like I said, is played by Anna Faris, gives May a pet cat, which comes back later. So
I remember that.
So May and Jeremy Sisto go back to their apartment at some point. They kind of flirt for a while, and they maybe share a lunch, and he comes and shows her a movie he made for school where
isn't it fucking weird?
Yeah, he goes. It's like a picnic, and they go cannibalistic on each other.
Yeah.
So then later on, they're like making out, and she fucking bites him, and he's like all pissed about it. He's like, "What the fuck you doing? You crazy? You fucking lazy eye fuck." So then May begins volunteering at a school for blind children. She takes a liking to a sullen girl named Petey, who makes her a clay ashtray with her name May pressed into it. She gives in to Polly's advances. They start a short affair, blah, blah, blah.
I sold a couple things. Petey. Sorry.
She visits Polly, but finds her with another girl who's much hotter than May, from what I recall. So then when
May gets pissed about that, doesn't she?
And she's grief-stricken. She goes home. She tries to get comfort from the cat. The cat won't come to her, so she takes the fucking ashtray that the kid made for her, throws it at the cat cat's dead.
Dead cat.
Dead cat. So instead of doing anything with cat, I believe she freezes it.
Because
And
I think he finds it, doesn't he?
Eventually.
Okay, sorry.
So so then she has this doll that ever since she was a kid, and I think that her mom made it for her and was like kind of like, hey, if you don't have a friend, you make a friend, that kind of deal. That's
some sad shit, man.
Yeah. So she takes it to the school of the blind. The kids are all trying to touch it and do random shit with it. So then there's like all the kids in her get broken by the glass. So she takes the doll home. The next day she meets a young punk, is what it says on here. So he asks her if she wants to get some candy with him. She accepts. She didn't really like him as much, but she did like one of the tattoos on his arms. So at her house, he finds the cat corpse and calls May a freak.
That's what it is. It's
May breaks down and stabs him in the fucking head, kills him.
I say this movie escalates very quickly, doesn't it?
After putting much fear into it, she claims that she needs more parts. So obviously she liked Anna Faris's neck. She liked Jeremy Sisto's hands. So on Halloween night, May dresses up in a homemade costume, just resembling like the doll that she had and has loved all this time. So she goes to Polly's house where she slits her throat with a pair of surgical scalpels. Then when the other girl that Polly was messing with her as, she stabs her in the temples. Then she goes over to Adams and his new girlfriends. May murders them both with the scalpels. And at home is where she decides to start designing her new friend. So she uses the punk's arms, Polly's neck, Ambrosia's legs, Adam's hands, his girlfriend's ears, and Lupe's fur for hair. And using the broken remnants...
Is Lupe the cat?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
And using the broken remnants of the May ashtray, she, uses to form an anagram of May of Amy, and that's the person's name, I guess, that she makes. She realizes, though, that she doesn't have any eyes. So the big shocker part of the movie is that she stabs herself in the eye. I believe it's her lazy eye. And I believe it kind of seems like she probably killed herself. Yeah. And she puts it up, and at the very end, I think the last thing you see is that the creation comes to life, and Jeremy Sisto's hands move to I think brush her face or caress her in some way. Yeah. So she does get a second at least of comfort from the
thing that she
spent
so much time creating.
Makes. Yeah. So it is a love story of sorts, and it's a movie that not a lot of people have seen, especially if you're not real into the horror genre, but it's awesome. Yeah. And whenever I do go back and watch it, I always am like, oh, this movie's great. Here's another little tidbit, though.
Ooh, tidbit time. GBGG tidbit time.
So,
GBGG.
There is a... somewhat of a sequel. It's called Roman, and it has Lucky McKee in it. He remade it, and he plays the lonely recluse, and he meets the woman of his dreams, who's played by Kristen Bell, actually. Oh. And so they live in an apartment complex together, and something happens where I guess things escalated quick, and he ends up fucking killing Kristen Bell, even though he was in love with her. He takes her into the apartment, but
he's got to bring her back to life, doesn't he?
I don't know. I've never seen it. So he has an annoying neighbor, though, and I think that the hijinks start because I think that maybe she finds out that he has this dead body, and then I think they start
oh, she's into it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the kind of gist that I got. Yeah. But something worth seeing, maybe, because I haven't seen it. And I've looked it up, and it's an expensive buy, unfortunately. It's kind of I don't want to get fucking Three from Hell.
Three from Hell?
Yeah.
All right.
So that's May was my first one.
I say, yeah, you really went into that. I just had the plan to kind of give an overview and bullshit about it.
Well, I planned on watching it. But I didn't get around to it, so I kind of had to just go from there.
Okay. Well, here's one that I didn't retain. I've watched, and I remember liking, once again, for the second time, saying I don't really like zombie movies. This is a zombie movie. But when you sent me the text of wanting to talk about this, my first thought was Warm Bodies.
Okay.
And have you seen that?
I I know.
Or you just like
I know
me
of
where,
it.
Okay, I've watched it.
I don't know if
once.
I've watched
I
it.
think it's on my Vudu, because like
Okay. Maybe
Macy got it, and like so I asked to borrow it, and the Voodoo code was in it, and I was just like,
so wrong.
so yeah, so I Googled real quick to talk about it, because all I remember is really like basically like the zombie's been around for a while, and there's one that's like not mean, like he's not out to eat people, and like there's still human kind of in there, but he's dead, and like a girl kind of wants to have a relationship with him.
Okay.
So, oh, Dave Franco was in it, and John Malkovich. This says, according to Wikipedia, 8 years after a zombie apocalypse, a zombie spends his days wandering around an airport, which is now filled with fellow undead, including his best friends. They don't give any names. So they grunt and moan, and that's how the zombies talk to each other.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. So zombies don't have a heartbeat. You know, they eat people. Blah blah blah. So why they're looking for people to eat, they run into this Julie character and a group of friends, and he seems to be drawn to the girl, this main character guy. His name is R, is what this says.
Okay.
So R is drawn to Julie. So what happens is that he follows her, and she ends up trusting him that he's not going to eat her. The two bond. They start listening to music and playing games that kill time, which causes him to come back to life, and his heart starts to beat slowly, and he starts to learn more and more words. So that's all in the airport, it sounds like, and then eventually she wants to leave. So she takes him with her.
Okay.
And then so basically it's
she's alive?
Yeah, she's
Okay.
alive, and then she takes
That's
him
what I
with her, and so then
I have not seen this.
yeah, so then you find out basically that like she's bringing him back to life, and they're starting to love each other, and they want to be together. She wants to be with a zombie. He follows her home, and they have the relationship, but it seems as though there's something even more devious than the zombies. So what has to happen is that the humans and the zombies have to team up together,
They band together.
yeah, to defeat these things, and then the zombie ends up becoming fully human, and they live happily ever after. So yeah, I mean,
It does
because
sound like an interesting.
yeah,
take on it.
I forgot that he slowly comes back together. I thought in my head I had it to the point where it was just like they figure out how to have a relationship together, even though he was still dead.
Okay.
But I remember, yeah, he lets her know that like he's not going to eat her, and then she takes him back home, and they slowly fall in love. So that was the first one I thought of, just because it is a girl falling in love with a dead thing.
Sure.
And so yeah,
That sounds interesting. I actually am more curious about it now. So the second one, have you ever seen The Loved Ones?
Why does that sound familiar?
So it's a movie where I'm going to explain some of it, and then we're actually going to watch the trailer just for the heck of it. Just throwing a little audible here. Okay, so
The Loved Ones.
The Loved Ones. All right, so the high schooler is driving his car with his father. Bloody man appears in the middle of the road, swerves, hits a tree, kills his dad. 6 months later, the kid who killed his dad in a car accident turns down Lola.
The kid was driving? So.
Yeah,
Okay.
he turns down Lola's invitation to the prom in favor of his girlfriend Holly.
Ooh.
Lola secretly watches the two having sex in Holly's car. Guilt-ridden over his father's death, this kid has become, drug user, self-mutilates. He has a razor blade hidden in his necklace. He goes to a cliff, contemplates suicide, the whole deal. So changes his mind. He listens to music, and someone knocks him out. When he comes to, he wakes up bound to his chair, and his captors are Lola, the girl who wanted to go to prom with him, and her father.
And her father?
And yes,
Okay.
and that's where things start to go awry, and it's awesome.
It's where hilarity ensues.
There is some hilarity, but it's just a fucked up
No,
movie.
you've seen this though.
Yeah, I loved
Okay.
it. I didn't know it was going to be as good as it was. So
Oh, I've seen this thumbnail.
Yeah, you come with Holly.
I didn't actually think this was a horror movie.
It's awesome.
Wow, you're wicked. Let me get the door, my lady. Pretty as a picture.
Will you go to the dance with me?
Sorry, don't worry. You come with Holly.
He fucked up.
Guess who asked me to the dance?
Hey.
Hi, this is Brent. Leave a message.
Brent's done this before. He's always turned up.
So then Brent is at a makeshift prom in these people's house.
Mm-hmm.
He's dressed up, they dressed him, and he's tied up and everything, and he's bolted down, and he can't move, and the dad's there with his daughter.
That's the weird part.
Oh,
What are you looking at?
Why does she have milk on her face?
say happy.
Happy. So good.
You know what's even weird too is that like you've been going to school with this girl for a while.
Right.
Like,
When I find my prince, this is the song we're gonna dance to. And there's only one way to find out if it's you.
Boys shouldn't hit girls.
I'm going to stab Holly in the heart. Just like you did to me.
all right. So yeah, I'll watch that then.
Yeah.
If you watch Warm Bodies, I'll watch that.
I didn't get
But yeah, the loved ones is awesome. It basically the dad and the daughter end up kind of torturing this kid because he tries to get away,
Which is fucking.
And-
that's weird.
it's so weird. She's having him like
she's
having him like suck on her fingers in front of her dad.
That's it. Like
Super
especially
weird.
both of us having daughters. Like, it's fucking weird.
It's super weird,
Yeah.
and it feels weird, and it's great in that weird way.
Mhm.
And I love that movie. So I've only seen it once. It would be a buy for me though. Actually, so.
Yeah, I've seen that thumbnail. I just had no idea that it was. I didn't think it was a horror movie for some
Well,
reason.
and it's kind of funny too, as you can see. Like there's some comedic. It's not just. I don't love like the Conjuring type movies, like you were kind of talking about earlier. Like the movies that just go for a bunch of jumps and they're just kind of trying to do this eerie thing the whole time. Isn't something I love unless every once in a great while. Like so the VHSs did that for me but they changed. All the stories were different, but they were so good and they were scary and awesome. So
Which I did laugh at that one text when I asked you about if I should buy Motel Hell. You're like, what did you say? It's more my movie than so much your movie. What the fuck does that mean?
yeah, it's not.
Well, we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
I mean, I like slasher movies.
I'm more campy.
Yeah,
than you are.
Yeah. I mean, I do enjoy campy movies,
Mm-hmm.
and I enjoy things being bad on purpose. Or see that's really about campy. Or they really tried, and
Yeah.
it's like, and they had no money or something like that. You know, like
Yeah, I don't love a slasher movie as much as you do, but I like them. It's not that I dislike them. Some of my favorite movies are slasher movies, but just
this is an honorable mention just because this kept showing up, but I would never even think of this. The Fly.
okay. You know what?
But see, I've only
If
seen it
I'm
a couple
being honest,
times.
I haven't seen it in a really long time.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
And so like this synopsis is a very quick one. When scientist Seth Brundle completes his teleportation device, he decides to test his abilities on himself. Unbeknownst to him, a housefly slips in during the process, which we all know, turns him into a fly.
Sure.
Initially, Brundle appears to have undergone a successful teleportation, but the fly cells begin to take over his body. As he becomes increasingly fly-like, Brundle's girlfriend is horrified as the person she once loved deteriorates into a monster. maybe that's what it is. That like he tries to hide it from her, and like I don't know. I wouldn't
Sure.
consider it like just because you have a significant other. I wouldn't consider it a love story. I guess.
No, but if that's one of the major parts of the story, I mean,
Yeah. And then there was, like, since we're going with two here, there was another one that I did find. See the fly showed up there. And see, I can't. Dracula. I can't talk
I
about.
thought about Bride of Frankenstein. Even
Well,
though
see,
it's
that's one I was going to mention by the end of it and say like, well, the end all be all of everything, which is even funnier because we've talked about it before. She doesn't fucking like him.
no,
She doesn't want to be around him.
not at all.
So, I mean, the Bride of Frankenstein's fucking fantastic, and technically, yeah, it's all about finding somebody or being in love. But like in the end, it's not that great of a love story.
Yeah, it's kind of about how desperate people are
Yeah,
for company, for
Um,
companionship.
I guess you know what I mean. Just because I like, oh, that's what it was. And see, this one kind of teeters on it too. Have you seen Audition?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually,
I fucking loved Audition.
Actually, it was a movie I thought of as well.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a guy that did his wife die or did he just get divorced?
It's been a long time again,
Um,
and the movie is so fucking boring
oh, it's yeah,
until
recent widower. So like a guy, it's a Japanese movie.
Yeah.
Guy's wife dies. He has
which makes it not easy to rewatch.
I mean, yeah, that is the hard part. But at the same time, it's so boring. I mean, you don't have to read like you could just watch it without language probably and still
Yeah.
know kind of what was going
And just
on.
get to that 80-minute point
Mhm.
and then be like,
Yeah.
okay, now the shit's about to go.
And it sucked because I'd seen this movie on so many of those top like 100 scares that
Mhm.
I already knew what was coming.
That's how I found out about it, if
Yeah.
I'm being honest, I believe.
And so like yeah, so a guy's wife dies, and I think he's kind of sad or bummed. Like it's been enough time that he kind of wants like a new relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And so his friends kind of set him up. I mean, at this point we didn't have him, so it's almost well, I guess we did, but it's like a dating show. Not really. I mean, like they audition women to come through and try to be his new girlfriend. And from what I remember, most of them like he tries, but it fails. Like there's something like he always finds something out about the girl, and then he finds one that seems to be kind of perfect for him. I think she's younger.
She's cute.
Yeah, and they start to have a really good relationship. And then there is the scene that we were talking about, which see that's the thing. I can't really remember the rest of it.
I remember all of a sudden there's like a fucking bag, and all of a
Yeah,
sudden the
well-
bag starts moving.
Well, I
and
think
shit.
she drugs him, and I think she zips him up inside of a body bag.
Okay,
But you don't know that. You just
Yes,
see you
you
just
don't
see a bag,
realize
and I think
that,
it's like
yeah.
a long shot where like nothing's happening for like a minute or something,
And all of a sudden
and it jumps.
Yeah.
Like there's a person in the body bag, and then I mean there's that thumbnail that everybody
Yeah.
you've seen the needle, but I don't remember. I was so like anticipating that. I don't. Does she torture him? He ends up like killing her though, right?
I need to see it again.
Okay. See, this is. I mean, I'm sorry. It's
No, I know what you're saying. It's a great movie to watch, especially for the first time. I don't think I've ever watched it a second.
I've watched it twice, but it was back in like Hilliard apartment.
Yeah,
And
I still
that's
have
whatever.
the
That's
damn
like 12
movie.
years ago, probably. At this
I
point.
have it on DVD.
Yeah.
I just
Even though we both can't remember it, I would say I would recommend at least watch it once.
yeah.
And you can be mad about a spoiler or whatever for that, but I mean, it doesn't take away from it. It
No.
was still what I wanted out of that movie. But it is. I mean, it's a guy like that's a love story, more of a heartbroken guy looking.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be alone. I guess is by the end
The
of it.
premise of the movie is
and-
still finding somebody.
And like it is also kind of funny, like the idea of his friends like being so fed up with him that they literally like they set down a table, like they rent a place and they start like casting, like it's like a casting call.
Right.
They just have women walk through and he picks them and goes on dates with them. So yeah, I could stick to those two.
I think that's
And then-
good.
and
We
then plus
might
Bride of
end up doing
Frankenstein.
this next year. So, because I'm looking at some movies and I'm like, that would be a
Yeah.
good one. And I being sick last week screwed me up because that's when I was going to watch some of the movies, and I just didn't want to like come down here because it's colder down here.
Yeah.
And I just ended up like, I was kind of out of commission for like 4 days, and it just screwed me up. Then Lizzie ended up sick, so it just.
Well, mine I kept putting it off just because of how fucking busy I've been, and then I finally was like, I'm gonna sit down, and then I like fell asleep or do something. So like that's why I found a bunch of lists, But then at the same time, it was like I haven't seen a lot of them either.
Right.
But then for a second, I think it was yesterday, today, my mind started going up like, you could even talk about books. You can talk about, like there's so many other things you can talk about, and I don't feel like going down that road. So I'm happy you only went with 2, because I mean, we could probably talk about these, but maybe next year I'll pick 2 and watch them,
Right.
instead of just kind of like remember, because I even have Bride of Chucky too.
Yeah.
I mean that was another one, but also I've seen it a bunch of times, don't remember it. So maybe I just need to actually start watching things before I talk about them.
That could be.
But I think that's it for now.
Okay.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day.
Go hug and kiss the ones you love.
Yeah.
Make sure they know what they mean to you.
Then watch a movie.
Then watch a movie.
Grant and Brad's Ghastly Gal.
This is